Alan, I don't know if I have an old baby in me. Because, old baby, I am stunned. I'm borderline depressed. I'm borderline hurt. I'm borderline angry. I got all those emotions right now after the Warriors, like they have all season. Let's be honest. They've done this all season long. And that's trick-off games like they did last night.
Yeah.
And as I say good morning to everybody out there getting off their graveyard shift and getting ready for work, if you're at work, what is happening? Strippers, baby mamas, baby daddies, we're all depressed today. Contractors, bakers, cops. Hell, even the traffic lights, that was terrible this morning. Good morning to them. Last night was a big-time gut punch. Now the Warriors face elimination down 3-1 to the L.A. Lakers. And to me, Alan, it's a couple things that's simple. We're going to break everything down. The final possessions, Clay chucking, Jordan Poole's disappearance, Draymond's turnovers. We're going to get to all of that. But right now, the difference to me in this series is the Lakers are just a more connected basketball team. They have one goal, and that is to win the championship. One goal. You look at the Golden State Warriors on the other side, there's a lot of individual agendas. And it reared its ugly head. This is a team that's not connected. You look at the L.A. Lakers, whether it's Lonnie Walker, Austin Reeves, Vanderbilt, they all know their role, and they're all connected. You look at the Golden State Warriors, just not a connected basketball team.
Yeah.
They're not. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, Bonte. Good to be with you. And you can use the word connected. I think that's a great one. I have nothing but praise for the Lakers because every time, and LeBron said it last night, the haymakers that the Warriors are trying to throw, every time there's just a timely bucket that the Lakers would get, whether it's Reeves, whether it's Schroeder, anybody. So you just got to give credit where credit's due. I think what's interesting, Bonte, is when you look at what Lonnie Walker did last night, and we'll get into, I have the whole breakdown of GP2 should have guarded. I have that whole timing breakdown we can get into a little bit later. But the thing is, Bonte, that never would have happened on the Warriors. It never would have happened on the Warriors because of the Warriors hierarchy. You have, and it's a great hierarchy. It makes sense.
Right.
You have Steph Curry, you have Klay Thompson, two of the greatest shooters ever. Then you have Jordan Poole, who is supposed to be your up-and-coming guy. So whether that would have been DiVincenzo, whoever it would have been, that person would have eventually deferred to those guys, and we wouldn't have minded because those guys are so good.
Yep.
Meanwhile, for the Lakers, it's LeBron and AD and a bunch of bucket getters, right? It's LeBron, AD, you got the clamps in Vando's vault or whatever it is, and then you got guys that when LeBron gives you that look, and LeBron, hey, I'm 38 years old, and AD's, he can be brittle. We got to use him in spurts. One of you got to go get it. So it could be D'Lo one game, it could be Austin Reeves. So that's the connection.
Schroeder.
Everybody knows their role.
They know their role, and they play it very well. And you know what, Alan? Yesterday, there were so many points, especially that third quarter, where the Warriors were going out for the knockout punch. And the Lakers refused. They would just dodge it.
Yeah.
Barely. Warriors are up 12 in the third quarter and rolling 73-61. All of a sudden, the Lakers get a couple timely baskets as LeBron touched on, and then you get the back-to-back turnovers where you turn one over in the backcourt, Schroeder gets a layup because you can't even get the damn inbound pass in.
Yeah.
Costly mistakes. Costly turnovers. And I thought the game really flipped. Even though the Lakers went into the fourth quarter down 7, the fact that they weren't down double digits going into the fourth quarter, for them was like, okay, let's catch our breath. It's the beginning of the fourth quarter. We know Steph's going to play. However, let's get on a spurt to start the fourth quarter. I thought the end of the third quarter where LeBron James went to the small ball 5, it really got himself inserted into that game. He inserted himself into game 4. And next thing you know, the Lakers are down 7. And boom, right out of the gate in the fourth quarter, they score the first 9 baskets of the fourth, or first 9 points in the fourth quarter. And you're like, that's been the Warriors' case all season long.
All season.
The inability to knock somebody out and blow them out and get some separation. They didn't gain that separation. And then you get down the stretch, and you just get, I think Klay Thompson, I love Klay Thompson. I really do. But that shot he took with over 10 seconds left on the shot clock, right in front of Steve Kerr, where Steve Kerr's putting his hands up, Draymond Green's putting his hands up, that may be the worst three-point shot attempt of Klay Thompson's career.
It's up there.
When you consider the stakes, you consider what was at stake down in L.A., Crypto.com Arena, that may be the worst shot he's ever taken in his career. It was just awful.
Yeah.
It was just awful. Look at the Anthony Davis's defense on Steph Curry because it was very impressive. But that shot by Klay Thompson, he took 2 of them. down the stretch. It was just like, wait, he's taking heat check threes. You're not hot.
Yeah. So the first one he took when he had 5 seconds left, and everybody said the whole right side is open. Can we be honest now? When does Klay drive?
No, he's not driving past anybody.
Now, I'm not saying he should have taken that shot, but when does Klay drive like that?
Maybe he drives inside a little. He's not driving past anybody on the right side.
No.
But maybe you could get yourself a better shot, and don't panic with that 5 seconds.
Exactly. Now, he drives. I imagine he pump fakes, maybe gets somebody in the air and gets fouled. But that second shot, Bonte, and that's why I know we all have to sit here and watch the press conferences. There's no need. Steve Kerr is going to tell you everything you need to know with his body language on the court. So during the press conference, it's, we didn't mind that shot. Klay might want it back. Steve, we saw you.
We saw you.
We saw you. So
no.
I don't need to hear you. And I'm not I'm not even blaming Steve, because that's what you do. You don't throw your guy under the bus. But Steve, we know how you really felt about it. Because we all felt the same way.
We all felt the same way. Let's be fair. Klay's hit that shot before. That's not a shot we want to see. He can hit that shot, just like Steph Curry can hit that deep three over AD. But that's not the shot you want. That's not the shot you want. So, Anthony Davis was good again last night, 23 points, 15 rebounds. Didn't have a block shot, but he was everywhere. LeBron James scored 16 points in the second half. He finishes with 27, 9, and 6 to offset what I thought. And look, we're going to talk about Steph Curry being 12 of 30 and 3 of 14 from the three-point line. But honestly, I thought it was a masterful game from the chef. I really did. Historic career playoff triple-double. I thought he controlled that basketball game. Now, give the Lakers credit. As you said, they attacked Steph Curry the entire fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And Lonnie Walker, the fourth. Lonnie Walker. I drove home last night thinking they just lost to Lonnie Walker, who scored all 15 of his points in the fourth quarter. Yeah. And he had some tough shots. Tough shots with the shot clock winding down. Lonnie freaking Walker was going at Steph. LeBron James was getting the switch on Steph and Curry. And you know what, Steph? He played his ass off. And I wish everybody on this team had Steph's mentality, had that dog in him. Because Steph Curry didn't want to lose that game. 31 points, 14 assists, Allen, 10 rebounds. I thought he was a wizard last night. I really did. Even though the shot wasn't falling, where are you at without Steph Curry? You're probably getting your ass blown out.
And that's why I was okay. That's why I was okay with the Steph Curry shot at the end. Could he have gotten a better one? Yeah, right. Without a doubt. But I'm just going to trust Steph in that situation. I think what the Lakers did it's because we're already getting the PNR questions. I know Steph Curry has the most, he's so well conditioned, but you ran PNR with him the whole first half.
24 times, apparently.
The whole first half. And it felt like, Bonte, this was what was disheartening for the Warriors and Warriors fans. If you were just casually watching the game at an Applebee's or Chili's, wherever you're at, you're looking up every other possession, and GP2 is running free, running wild like a CYO game. And then halftime comes, and you're up 3 points. 3 points. So you've fried Steph's usage. Now you go into the second half, and what do the Lakers do? Yeah. You know what? We got a PNR too. And while Steph Curry is already tired from what he's been doing all game, now you got to deal with LeBron. And he fouls LeBron a couple times, and nobody else is making a shot. Here's the thing about the PNR. And I'm not letting Klay Thompson off the hook at all. But when you do something that you don't typically do, and you're just making it a point to do it, Klay never got in the rhythm. He didn't. Now, he tried to make his own rhythm later in the game.
And it wasn't good.
Which he should not have done. But Klay never got in a rhythm. And now, at the end of the game, or towards the end of the game, they tried to go back to the PNR. And it just, at that point.
But you know what?
I don't know, man.
They didn't run enough of it. Because the PNR was working. And I thought the Warriors, look, they were fortunate to be down one after the first quarter, in my opinion. And the fact that they did have a halftime lead, going on that spurt at the end of the second quarter, I said, okay, they got control of the game. And they come out in the third quarter, and they're running and gunning. And they built a 12-point lead.
Yeah.
And a lot of that PNR was working. Gary Payton, the second time to playoff career high with 15 points. He was getting wide open layups. LeBron James was asleep all night long on defense.
And they said,
you know what?
Yeah, they made that change with AD guarding Wiggins, which really didn't do anything else.
It didn't do much. But you know what? You got to run the PNR to death. You got to run that baby to death. The Lakers did not have an answer for it, in my opinion. Stephen Curry did what he had to do. The ball movement offense, the read and react offense wasn't working because they were face guarding Klay Thompson. It is what it is. If Klay can't get going, fine. I got 15 from GP2. I got a bonus 10 from Dante DiVincenzo. All right, I got Steph Curry working. Andrew Wiggins, I wanted to see him have more than 2 FGAs in the fourth quarter, to be honest with you, because I think he has a matchup advantage, yet You know,
he settles.
He settles too much for, especially against Austin Reeves. Austin Reeves can't guard him. By the way, we have a super chat here. All right, James C. underscore 1982 spent $2. I can't believe his broke ass spent some money on the show, man. He's always slandering us. Clay doing his best Howard Thurston impression. Ha, 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 ha. All right, I guess he's having fun with that. You spent $2 for that comment. Great. Awesome. Now you're $2 lighter. Listen, I would have ran more P&R. I would have just said to hell with it. It's working all day. And then you stagger. Some of the P&R, you can stagger and send a back pick out to Anthony Davis when you're rolling downhill. So I would have ran that damn thing into the ground. They did not for whatever reason. But the game really flipped at the end of the third quarter for me, Allen. And then you get in the fourth quarter. They scored the first 9 points in the fourth quarter. And Lonnie Walker, the fourth, takes over. Not LeBron, not Anthony Davis, not Austin Reeves, not D'Angelo Russell. Lonnie Walker the fourth from Reading, PA. Are you kidding me? That's what I had to go home to. Lonnie Walker the fourth, killing you with 15 in the fourth quarter. Well, you know what? Role players step up. He stepped up. A lot of the Warriors role players have not stepped up. And we can't go to first segment without talking about Jordan Poole. It's actually sad what's happening.
Yeah.
Allen, I was sad for him last night. He just did not look like an NBA player. Did not look like he wanted to be out there. Did not look like he wanted to be in the arena. Did not look like he wanted to be part of this basketball team. And who could blame him? I can't blame him. I really can't, Allen. That to me was the most disheartening aspect of that basketball game. Jordan Poole, when you needed him, did not show up. Now, it's not all on him, as Steph Curry said, Allen, but it is actually sad watching this develop the way it has.
Yeah, and I felt a little bit conflicted yesterday because I thought, well, okay, I can't blame this game on Jordan Poole because he basically didn't play in the second half, right? And the Warriors were up. They were up when the fourth quarter started, whether they're up 7, something like that. They were up. And then I start thinking about the other side of it, and it's, well, they were only up 7, and if you got anything from Jordan Poole, you wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah.
So, no, Jordan Poole wasn't in to mess up the game, but the fact that he can't play, that is the issue. So you can look at it a couple different ways, and at first I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but then when you think about it, it's when you're unplayable and people are counting on you, that's a problem. And it's not even, look, you can talk, I think, and I always say the sophomore slump is not necessarily based on year, it's based on whenever you had your breakout
season.
So I think we all maybe saw a little regression coming, but he's a completely different individual.
Nah, he is. I mean, he averaged 20 points per game, but the start bench splits are just out of control. I thought maybe Steve Kerr would have started him yesterday when there was hints of a lineup change. He went with GP2, and I was a little befuddled by that because I'm saying, well, what about the spacing? Well, Steve Kerr knows a hell of a lot more about basketball than I do. He pulled the right string there with GP2.
Yeah.
That was the right move to play. And he played it well, and they shut out D'Angelo Russell, who went 1 of 10 last night, and 0 for 4 for the three-point line. So maybe we see that again for Game 5. But, boy, the Jordan Poole situation here, we're going to talk about it all show long. It's not just JP. It's the Draymond turnover at the end of the game. It's Draymond Green not being aggressive offensively. Looney was a non-factor once again. He played 10 minutes and 53 seconds yesterday. This was not a factor at all. JMG only plays 2 minutes. It's kind of been that was the microcosm right there of the entire season. And now they're down 3-1, and Allen, they can come back from 3-1. I wouldn't bet against them from not coming back from 3-1. Now you got to take it one game at a time, obviously, and win Game 5 Wednesday night. But do we really believe they can win 3 in a row against the LA Lakers? They can. They can. They're very capable of doing it. But I just don't know with the way the season's played out. I just don't know.
The optimistic way to look at it is that they've been in all but one game, right? Everything except for Game 3, and they had an opportunity to get it done. The pessimistic way to look at this is to say, number one, you already lost. That Game 1, Bonte was a killer because you got everything you wanted to get, and you still couldn't get it done at home, right?
21 made threes.
Exactly.
Assists.
Jordan Poole actually showed up.
6 threes.
The other reason to be pessimistic about it is that you're asking this Warriors team to do something that they have not done all season long. Right? You have to win 3 games. You have to play elite basketball consistently for 3 games. They did not even do that against the Kings. right? They won game 4, and they tricked off game 5, and then
Game 6,
game 6, and then they had to take care of game 7. So even there, they took a little break where they just couldn't do it consistently. They're going to have to do it now because, as Steve Kerr joked, it's not a must win until you got one more loss. But now you're here, and they just haven't done it all year. So can they do it? Sure. Have we seen them do anything remotely like this all season long? No, we haven't.
No, they haven't been consistent at all. So I don't know, man. I don't know. This segment is brought to you by Golden State Lumber, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. We got Anthony Slater at 8 o'clock. And, Alan, when I drove home last night and I went to bed, I woke up, I was a little depressed. Depressed on how that game was in their hands. They controlled most of it. Now, the Lakers played at their pace. But again, when you needed knockout blows yesterday, and you end up giving up the points off turnovers, you're -7 in that department. I mean, the Lakers, you look at the 3-point shooting for the Warriors, 12 of 41. They get to the line 20 times. They hit all 20 free throws. So they're a +8 in terms of +11 when it comes to made free throws.
Yeah.
Last night was just depressing because you saw Steph Curry give every ounce of his body to that basketball game. And you just needed one co-pilot. You just needed somebody to ride shotgun with him. Mm-hmm. And nobody else stepped up. Klay Thompson was bad. Draymond Green was Jordan Poole didn't show up. DiVincenzo had some crucial turnovers, 4 in all. And the more connected team won the basketball game. That's what I came away with. The Lakers are more connected right now. They're more connected. It is what it is. They're playing their roles, and they're playing for a championship.
Yeah.
I think the Warriors, they know they can contend for a championship, but there's too much other stuff going on with this basketball team. And you just can't overcome that at this stage of the season.
No, you can't. And like you said, DiVincenzo finally found the bottom of the net, right? But he still was giving the ball up. So there's nobody besides maybe a GP2 that just gave you what you needed. Meanwhile, on the other hand, the Lakers, anybody that Darvin Ham calls on is just ready to go. And again, I take it back to the hierarchy thing. You have Klay Thompson who didn't get it going, tried to get himself going towards the end. And I don't know. There's no need in harping on it because it is what it is. But I will say this. I saw a lot of people talking about Jordan Poole and what happened with Kareth Burke and, he needs to. And I didn't have a problem with Bonte. All he said was, opportunity. And the shot's gone. I didn't understand why people were saying all this. Meanwhile, you got Klay, who openly just never has cared. And we love him for that, but just no remorse ever.
In terms of what? What do you mean by that?
In terms of just the shot. Those were bad shots.
Selection. Oh, those are awful shots. Those are awful shots. I'm telling you, that 3-point attempt by Klay Thompson down 1 was probably the worst 3-point attempt of his career.
Yeah.
Draymond let you know. Steve Kerr let you know. It's just you didn't need it. You didn't need it. 12 seconds left on the shot clock. And I'm thinking, Klay, really? Really? That's the shot you get in that situation down the stretch? That was garbage. That may have been the worst 3-point attempt of his career. I'll bet you it is. But Jordan Poole, what he said, opportunity, I want to touch on that. Opportunity. Because I'm hearing a lot of that from the youngsters. Opportunity. Mm-hmm. A lot of feelings are being displayed right now in that Warrior locker room. Worried about opportunity and chances and minutes. Instead of doing something, so the Steph Curry speech from before Game 7 has fallen on deaf ears.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a damn about that speech no more in that locker room, apparently, because everybody keeps talking about opportunity and minutes and why I'm not playing. Well, what's this Game 7 speech about? Don't get your ass on the bus unless you're about this team, whether you play 0 minutes or 40 minutes. But yet, all of a sudden, after the speech, I get Kuminga talking to the Chronicle. I get Jordan Poole talking about opportunity. And you know what? That's why this team is 1 game away from having their season ended, because there's too many other agendas on this damn basketball team, whether there's podcasting, whether there's, opportunities, shots, everything. And you saw it on display last night. And one guy I'm riding with is Steph Curry. He didn't deserve to lose that game. He didn't. But you know what? They fall short. Now they're down 3-1 with their season on the damn line.